This is a Gear Network production.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Mr. Perez, and you're listening to the Better Live Than Dead podcast, brought to you exclusively on Gear Network. Listen in.
Hi, is this thing on?
Are you working?
We're here. Episode 45.
4-5.
Of the Better Live Than Dead podcast.
What's up, peoples?
After some technical difficulties.
Yes.
Perez was here on time as he tried to be today. He was here at 10 o'clock like he said he would be.
Yes, that's right.
But right now in podcast world, it's 10:40. So for the past 40 minutes, we've had technical difficulties with the computer.
Yes.
As mentioned last week, it was highlighted very, very well that I did not want to restart the computer.
Right.
Because I restarted it and we had Windows updates.
For like an hour and a half.
So today I didn't restart the computer. And that was the beginning and the end, the root of all our problems.
Pretty much.
So I restarted the computer and we're
good to go.
We're here.
There was no updates this time.
No updates, thankfully, because if we had updates, the computer probably would get tossed into the road.
Hey, what's up, South Africa?
Hi. Everybody around the world listens to the Better Live Than Dead podcast on the Gear Radio Network.
I'm digging it.
And we thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I do.
I was gonna actually.
What's up, Korea? South Korea.
Yeah, I was gonna try to have a pre-show, but we have a lot to talk about today.
We have a lot to talk about. We both got things we got to do. I got to work.
Just get right into
Jump right into it, bro.
News you need to know. Starting off with FIFA. I'm sure, Perez, you saw all about this week.
Oh, yeah.
14 former or current executives and associates were indicted by the U.S. Justice Department this week, accused of racketeering through lengthy collections of bribes and kickbacks.
Yes.
The one man not indicted in this time, or in this go-around, FIFA president Sepp Blatter was reelected on Friday as the FIFA president. He'll be there for at least 4 more years. But the New York Times reports Friday that more indictments could be rolling down in the coming days, and Sepp Blatter did say that he doesn't expect to be indicted, but it sounds like, and it looks like, he is the next guy on the chopping block, because everybody under him
was taking bribes.
Has either been arrested, charged, or indicted.
Yes.
So it certainly doesn't look good for him.
Right, exactly.
I mean, the best way to explain the FIFA corruption, tell me this. It was either Qatar or United States of America for the 2022 World Cup. Qatar, where it's 120 degrees, I think it is, in the summertime when they're going to be playing, where they're actually discussing playing the games at night, when it's a little cooler in like the low to mid 90s.
Right. And
how does Qatar get that over the United States?
Especially since they don't have a very big soccer presence in Qatar.
No.
And so they're saying that was, but the same thing happened when they were in Russia. Not that long ago.
Well, they think that Russia was part of the bribes too.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And I'm going to go out on a limb and say, well, absolutely, because like Putin came out almost the same day. It was like America needs to get his nose out of soccer. Yeah,
it's the United States should be hosting the World Cup in 2022.
Right. I just listen, Vladimir.
They're going to keep 2022 World Cup in Qatar right now.
Right.
But if things continue to go downhill, I certainly could see things changing.
Right.
That's for sure.
I think it's funny that Mr. Putin, President Putin, whatever he is over there, supreme leader.
Dickhead.
Yes, there's that too. He gets mad that there were indictments, which obviously he was probably part of the scheme to get FIFA over there when they don't have a big soccer presence. But his whole country lives on bribes and stuff,
It's funny too, because if you read the documents from the FIFA people, or from the U.S. Justice Department about the FIFA people, there was a lot of like flat out people being like, "No, I want more money. Are these legal? These aren't illegal. These aren't legal. Okay, who cares? I want my money. Give me more money." There was one guy who was like, "Okay, you're giving me X amount. I want X times 2, and you're going to give it to me because that's how this works."
Right.
And that's how it was documented. And the best part was one of the guys, I can't remember the gentleman's name, the idiot's name, I should say, but he didn't file a personal tax return, and the IRS got on his case, and then come to find out the FBI was also investigating them for the same thing, or for something else, and then it was a joint IRS FBI thing because they're going after him for multiple things. So you got to be pretty dumb to get yourself caught up in that stuff.
Yeah, stupid people.
Well, stupid people are certainly stupid, but that's the thing about FIFA. It's been all about corruption.
Right.
It's going to take a long time to clean it up, but hopefully this is the start of the cleansing of FIFA, because spreading soccer worldwide is not going to happen with bribes and corruption for sure.
Well, you got to be careful what you say. Spreading soccer worldwide. Soccer's already worldwide.
Yeah, but making it more popular throughout the world.
See, it's already the most popular sport outside of America. So making it more popular. It's already the most popular sport.
So you're telling me that the corruption and the bribes and all that crap, that you don't think that will turn some
make a difference?
Off?
Absolutely not. Do you see soccer fan?
Well, they shoot road flares at players and stuff.
Dude, do you see hooligan fan? Do you see riot fan? You know, people make fun of the United States for when their cities win certain championships and then they go turn cars over and set stuff on fire.
Yeah.
Like, that's an everyday occurrence for soccer fan.
That's true. That is very true. You have a point there, yes. I guess I spoke too soon on FIFA.
It's all good.
Well, they have to get things right.
Well, they'll get things right.
They have to. But they have to get Sepp Blatter out of that presidency.
But I don't think it's going to make a difference in the popularity because it's already the biggest sport in the world.
People might like FIFA more.
Maybe.
Because I know there's a lot of people that are sour on FIFA. It's like the NFL. People don't like Roger Goodell, but they like the NFL, so they deal with it. I think that's how it is with FIFA.
Right.
That's what it seems like, at least.
Well, Roger Goodell's had a series of missteps lately.
Well, he's just a pile of dog crap. We've discussed that before.
Yes.
Moving on, more soccer. The Premier League 2014-2015 season drew to a close last Sunday. Chelsea officially declared Premier League champions for the first time since 2009-2010. Chelsea, Manchester City, and Arsenal qualify to the Champions League group stage. Manchester United qualifies to the Champions League playoff round. Tottenham qualifies to the Europa League group stage. Liverpool qualifies to the Europa League third qualifying round. West Ham United qualifies to the Europa League first qualifying round. Hull City, Burnley, Queen's Park Rangers have been relegated to the Football Champions League. And Watford, Bournemouth, and Norwich City have been promoted to the Premier League.
And that's kind of one of the problems with soccer, in my opinion.
There's so much going on.
It's so convoluted. You know, you could get relegated over here. You could get promoted over this.
I like the relegation idea because it creates, like, for most of the end of the Premier League, we would watch Leicester City games during the podcast. And it was, while they were in relegation, or in danger of being relegated, I should say, it was exciting because you go, if they win, you know, they'll survive.
Right.
But
no, I get the whole, you know,
it keeps the competition kind of going. Because
I get the whole you lose, you go home type thing. But there's so many other different leagues.
Yeah, that's something I'm still getting into. Like the you know, all the, okay, if you finish in the top 3, you go here. You finish in, you know, 4th or 5th, you go here. This team can go there. And it's very confusing for me.
Right.
But I'm an infant soccer fan.
I understand.
So I'm getting there. Excuse me. So maybe someday on the podcast I'll be able to explain it.
I think that's why soccer fans are so pissed off, because they have no idea what's going on.
Apple's trying to install iCloud. I don't want iCloud. iCloud's a bunch of garbage.
Apple's a bunch of garbage.
Well, that's where the problem begins and ends, for sure. But yeah, I mean, if you're a soccer fan, there's soccer happening all the time, so that's pretty cool.
Yes.
But it's just kind of hard to keep up with if you don't really know what's going on.
Right.
That's how the Premier League was for me when I started watching. I had no idea what was going on. I'm like, this is really... They play all winter long and stuff.
Yeah.
But now I get it. I enjoy it a lot. I actually look forward to the next season starting in August. So
I like soccer. I enjoy soccer.
It gives us more to talk about.
Right.
Moving over to Indy racing now. Juan Pablo Montoya wins the Indianapolis 500. It's his second win in his third career Indianapolis 500 start. He won his first ever Indy 500 race in 2000. Finished 5th last year and obviously won this year.
That was a good race.
Very good race. Because
a lot of drama at the end there.
Montoya at the end of the race was really racing like he had nothing to lose. I mean, he didn't, but he was racing like he had nothing to lose.
And he took the lead with like 5 laps left.
Yeah.
And then the dude that was battling for second took the lead back, and then Montoya took it back like with 2 laps left. So it was pretty close.
If you've never, my favorite thing about Juan Pablo Montoya was the accident he had at Daytona where he drove into the jet dryer and blew it up and lit the track on fire.
Yeah.
That's the story of Juan Pablo Montoya's career, as they call him, One Problem Montoya.
Right.
because there's always something else happen. When it was NASCAR, he was always crashing or driving into someone or spinning someone out. And I mean, it's good to see him back in IndyCar racing for sure.
Well, these Indy cars, with the new setup, they're doing like 230 miles an hour. Those boys were screaming around that track.
Well, you saw his car after he won the race. He had all the just markings all over his car, and it's like, I can't imagine going that fast.
It'd be fun.
It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But
it was funny because
as they say, it'd be a tight butthole.
Like he pulls into to Winner's Row, and he's in the circle, and people are trying to ask him questions, and he's literally like, "Where's my wife? I want to kiss my wife. Where's my wife?"
I was bummed out because every year they always drink the milk and then they pour it on themselves. I was like, pour the milk on yourself, you jackass, and he didn't. I was so mad.
He drank it, then he gave it to his kids, and they drank it.
I know, but I wanted them
I thought it was really cute that he wanted his whole family to be involved in the celebration.
It's adorable. And he currently leads the IndyCar series right now, so we'll see how that ends up turning out for him. Moving over to golf now. Something that seems amazingly improbable. I'm not sure if you heard about this one, Perez. Husband and wife aced the same hole on back-to-back shots at the Meadows Golf Club in Grand Ledge, Michigan this week. Now, the National Hole-in-One Association, which is a real thing.
Was there footage?
There were people there that were watching them, though.
Okay.
So it did actually happen. National Hole-in-One Association estimates the odds of an amateur player making an ace are 12,500 to 1.
Right.
Odds for two members of the same group to ace the same hole in the same round is roughly 26 million to 1. So if those people didn't go buy a lottery ticket, they're stupid.
Yeah, no doubt.
But it's funny because after you get a hole-in-one, they say the rule is after the round you buy everyone in the clubhouse a beer. Well, they went in the clubhouse and there was like 2 people there.
So that made it easy.
Very easy for them. Very, very easy. Very good day for sure. Looking at the PGA Tour now, Chris Kirk, 12 under, wins last week's Crowne Plaza Invitational. Masters winner Jordan Spieth finished tied for second at 11 under. Right now, at time of recording, John Curran, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that one.
Curran, I believe.
John Curran currently leading the AT&T Byron Nelson at 9 under through 2. Jordan Spieth currently leads the FedEx Cup with a 630-point lead over Jimmy Walker, who is second.
And the number 1 player in the world, Rory McIlroy, shot like +9 the other day.
He's really weird. Like sometimes he'll go out and he'll be the greatest player you've ever seen, untouchable, and then there's other times where he plays and he's just
garbage,
liquefied dog crap.
It was horrible.
It's crazy to see, but I mean, not everybody's Tiger Woods.
True story.
Not even Tiger Woods is Tiger Woods.
Not right now.
Moving over to the UFC now, UFC 187, the main card, Joseph Benavidez deletes John Moraga. Defeats.
Oh,
he probably deleted him too. Yeah, defeats John Moraga. Andrei Arlovsky, kind of a shocker here, defeats Travis Brown. Donald Cerrone defeats John Makdessi. A disgusting end of that fight because the guy actually quit because he got kicked in the face, and you could actually watch and hear his jaw break, and the guy felt it and actually threw up a timeout and was like, no, I can't go anymore. My jaw's busted. And you watch the replay, and you can just see his jaw just thunk.
Crooked.
And then you can hear it, too. It's all
awesome.
Chris Weidman successfully defends his title against Vitor Belfort. That was a great fight. Let me tell you why. Because Belfort started off hot, hitting Weidman, popped his eyebrow open, and Weidman was on the defense quick. And after the fight, Weidman said flat out, he goes, because I thought to myself, I said, I'm in a bad spot right now. I got to get out of here. I'm going to be in trouble. So what does Chris Weidman do? He goes to his bread and butter. He takes down Vitor Belfort, and he mounts him, and he just starts beating the crap out of his face.
Nice.
Like, it was almost like Vitor Belfort just took his arms down and said, just hit me as hard as you can in the face.
Right.
Because that's what it looked like.
That's crazy.
And then they called the fight, and Weidman won. And then the championship fight, I can't tell you much about it because I fell asleep during it.
Awesome.
But Daniel Cormier defeats Anthony Rumble Johnson and becomes the new UFC light heavyweight champion. Calls out John Jones after the fight, says, "John, get your crap together. I'm coming for you." Which we all know that John Jones would probably eat Daniel Cormier for lunch because that's right, he already has once.
Right.
But give Cormier a couple title defenses, get that belt comfortable around get the strap comfortable around his waist.
And then watch John Jones just rip it off him.
Oh, man, watch John Jones come back with a vengeance.
Yes.
Because obviously John Jones is going to come back mega heel. Like he was working on a heel turn.
Yeah.
He's going to come back mega heel.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to hate him.
Pretty much.
And he's just going to beat the living piss out of everybody.
That's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be so much fun.
Did you hear about the chick that said this disgusting stuff about Ronda Rousey?
I did, but I did not grab it.
she basically, so Ronda Rousey's father, when she was like 8 years old, committed suicide. And, so that's always been a touchy subject with Ronda Rousey. So the lady she's facing next basically said that she's going to beat Ronda Rousey so bad that Ronda's going to be crying. And she was like, and Ronda, I'll give you a rematch. Don't go committing suicide. And
that's dirty.
Yeah, that's dirty. So, and you know what? If there's one female on this planet that I don't want to rile up,
don't give her any extra motivation.
It's Ronda Rousey.
Because she's probably going to break both your arms.
Oh, yeah. I get the feeling it's not going to be pretty for this girl.
I say that fight lasts less than a minute.
We'll see. This girl's supposed to be pretty decent.
They all have at this point. But moving over to the National Football League now, Adrian Peterson reportedly trying to send Minnesota a message by not reporting to OTAs. The reports are Adrian Peterson lost a $250,000. I apologize. Trying to figure out why I was missing a sentence here. But
sorry.
Chicago defensive end Ray McDonald was arrested for, I believe it was domestic assault and endangering the welfare of a child after he hit a woman who was holding a child. Roughly 6 hours after the arrest, McDonald was cut by the Bears. 2 days later, McDonald was arrested again for violating the restraining order. You may remember McDonald was suspected of domestic violence in August of 2014, was cut by the 49ers in December 2014 after being named a suspect in a sexual assault investigation. It certainly appears like this gentleman does belong in jail.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go away.
He needs to go away. The Houston Texans will be featured on HBO's Hard Knocks this season. That should be a good one.
That should be a good one.
As long as you follow J.J. Watt around all the time. But I'm sure you'll get the quarterback battle between Hoyer and Ryan Mallett and Brian Hoyer. You'll get the head coach.
Mallett. Sorry, a little MC Hammer. Right.
You're okay. That's before my time.
Yes.
New York Jets quarterback Geno Smith and wide receiver Brandon Marshall are living together in an attempt to build chemistry. Do you think that'll work?
Isn't that sweet?
Or is that just adorable?
That's just adorable.
It's adorable.
You think they're going to braid each other's hairs?
I don't know. I mean, he said, Brandon Marshall did say he's a very mature young man, so.
Wash each other's backs. Hit each other's with pillows, little pillow
Whatever
fights.
Teammates do. I don't know what football teammates do with each other. Denver offensive tackle Ryan Clady out for the season after tearing his ACL.
That sucks.
That's a big loss for Denver.
No doubt.
St. Louis running back Trey Watt suspended 4 games for violating the substance abuse policy. Buffalo claims quarterback Matt Sims from the New York Jets and cuts quarterback Jeff Toole.
Bye, Toole.
Yeah, that's not really a big loss for the Buffalo Bills. Not a big ad for the Buffalo Bills either, but I digress. The New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady's appeal reportedly to be heard on June 23rd. And Atlanta linebacker Prince Shembo waived by the team after being charged with killing his ex-girlfriend's dog. That man also belongs in jail.
I'm sorry.
He killed his ex-girlfriend's dog.
Why?
I have no idea.
Did they recently break up? Was he mad? Was that like a screw you?
I think so. It seems like it.
That's garbage. Why are you going to kill it if it's this dog?
Yeah, that's...
Speaking of killing a dog.
Oh, God.
When my original female dog was killed, I had, let's say, a conversation with the individual that I thought killed her.
Did this conversation involve you beating the crap out of the guy?
That's a very real possibility.
Is there still a pending police investigation?
No.
Okay.
But I found out the other day that there's a really good chance he didn't do it. Because
when did this happen?
A couple years ago.
Oh, wow.
A few years ago. But I still hold on to it because I miss that dog. She was cool. But so one of the dogs, 2 houses down from me, had to be put down because it was poisoned.
Okay.
And the common thread is the people that live in between us, which was not the person I beat up. They have a huge garden in their backyard.
Allegedly beat up,
yeah. They have a huge garden in their backyard. And I guess when they use the pesticides and stuff, they're not real careful. So it gets on our lawn and the other people's lawn. And I guess something else got covered in the pesticides, and the dog ate it, and that's what killed the dog. So now I wonder if it was the old people that live in between me and that person, and they accidentally killed my dog.
What if it was accidentally, purposely?
No, they would have done it purposely because they actually liked the dogs. They were like giving them treats and petting them, and the old lady would come to us and say, before your dogs were there, we'd have squirrels in the backyard eating the vegetables, and now that your dogs are around, there's no squirrels. So,
Well, that's sad to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad that they had to put down their dog, but now I wonder if I had the conversation with the wrong person.
Well, I mean, he probably deserved it.
Oh, he did.
Probably, yeah.
Because his wife made it seem like it was him.
So maybe she wanted him to get his ass kicked.
It's very possible. So, because she walked up to the fence one day and she was like, hey, I'm not saying that he did it, but I am saying that me and my son will be going shopping for the next hour and a half, and he's in the basement working out, and I left the side door unlocked.
Is that really how it worked?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So I was like, oh, okay.
That's something out of a movie right there.
I was like, thank you.
I think you live like a movie life over there.
So I went and had a conversation with him. and then
you've got that very confident look on your face.
And then a month and a half later, they moved. So,
guess it's a good way to clean up the neighborhood.
Right.
Moving over to the NBA now, Chicago fires head coach Tom Thibodeau. 255 and 139 and 394 games with the Bulls, 23 and 28 in the playoffs. Never missed the playoffs 5 years as a coach, but obviously that team underwhelmed. They were good in the regular season,
right?
But it just seemed like there was a disconnect in the front office, which led to his dismissal.
That was like a bonus story time with Perez, by the way.
It's a good story. So Thibodeau's out. He'll probably get a new gig somewhere else. A good place because he wants to get a place where he can win now, and he deserves it. I mean, because he's a good.
I feel like they should have let him go. Though. I mean, Chicago had a great season.
Well, the thing is, there was a disconnect in the front office, and that's that. I mean, unfortunately, that's how things work.
Plus, everyone thought they were going to win the title this year, which we now know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, that probably won't happen for a while.
Steph Curry's daughter, she's a real champion.
She's a real MVP. Iowa State's Fred Hoiberg, likely the next head coach of the Chicago Bulls. That came down this morning on Saturday. There are rumblings that Miami could part ways with longtime star and longtime member of the franchise, Dwayne Wade. Houston Rockets.
Dwayne Wade needs to just retire.
Well, he's still useful, just not as a big minutes guy, I guess.
Yeah, he just needs to retire.
Houston Rockets Dwight Howard suspended the first game of the 2015-2016 season for accruing too many technical fouls in the playoffs. Orlando hires Scott Skiles to be the next head coach. Skiles last coached the NBA in Milwaukee in 2013. He also played for the Magic from 1989 to 1994. Fun fact for you, Perez. Scott Skiles holds the NBA record for most assists in a game with 30.
Yes, they do.
I came across that last night while I was looking for some information on this gentleman.
Right.
The playoffs now.
Playoffs?
Cleveland defeats Atlanta in a sweep form.
Yes, they did.
That was a dumb way to say that. Cleveland sweeps the Atlanta Hawks. And Golden State, 4-1, defeats Houston. We're going to have Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals.
That's going to be a good finals.
LeBron James and James Jones are the first players to play, I'm just gonna quit right now. I can't talk.
You should do that.
LeBron James and James Jones are the first players to play in 5 straight NBA Finals since Bill Russell, Satch Sanders, Casey Jones, and Sam Jones did it in the 60s. That is per Elias Sports Bureau.
Right.
Second time in NBA history that 2 rookie coaches are facing off the NBA Finals. Obviously, the first time being the first year of the league because both coaches there were rookie coaches. It's the first Finals appearance since 1975 for the Warriors and the first since 2007 for Cleveland.
Yes.
If that made sense. Now, Better Live Than Dead fan questions brought to you by Fathead. You can hit us up on the tweet bots. WolfSHC at MRLG Perez at BLTD Podcast. Facebook.com/BLTD Podcast or Facebook.com/Gear Network. At Gear Network on Twitter. If the Cavaliers do not win the NBA championship, Perez, does this stain LeBron's legacy?
I'm gonna say no, because this is his 5th finals in a row. I think there'll be some question as to the legitimacy of him being quote unquote the greatest.
Yeah.
Because you've been to 5 and you lose 3. Right now he's 2-2.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think they'll get past Golden State.
Well, a couple podcasts I did mention during the week on Twitter, episode 39 of the Better Live Than Dead podcast, we talked about it. We both said Golden State's going to win the championship at the start of the playoffs, but then we both agreed on that if it's Cleveland-Golden State, that Cleveland would win. But I think I'm going to change that, and I'm just going to go Golden State all the way through.
I don't recall agreeing that Cleveland would win if it was Cleveland Golden State. I've been saying since the start of the year I thought Golden State was going to win the championship.
Well, we said something like, Golden State will win, and I said, yeah, Golden State. And then at the end we said something about, what if it's Cleveland? We all know how the NBA works. They'll probably have Cleveland win the championship.
Yeah, well, if the NBA wants to fix it, absolutely. If they want to,
that was kind of the terms of the conversation right there. Was if the NBA wants LeBron to win, LeBron will win. Yeah,
I know. I'm hoping that the fix is not in, because I don't really think they can beat Golden State.
I mean, if anything, you want Golden State to win the championship, because then you can elevate Steph Curry to superstar status. I mean, he already's there, but you can put him on the magazine covers.
I will say it's cool seeing the duel of rookie coaches.
Steve Kerr has done a phenomenal. And just to think, this time last year, he's either going to coach the Knicks or he's going to coach the Warriors. And who would have thunk that flip-flopping on the Knicks job turned into a possible NBA championship?
Yeah, I bet he's real happy about that.
Yeah, whatever made him go back in that deal.
Good job.
Congratulations. You're lucky. Real. You're lucky, bud. Last BLTD fan question, brought to you again by Fathead. That's kind of clunky, but just go with it. Allen Iverson this week spoke to Bleacher Report. When asked, what is his all-time big 3? He said himself, Shaquille O'Neal, and Michael Jordan. Now the question is, if a team had that big 3, could they go 82-0?
Ooh, could they go 82-0?
Yeah, because that's 3 of the greatest players ever. I mean, Iverson, not phenomenal, but he's one of the best.
Yeah,
I certainly don't think that Iverson ever belongs in the conversation with Shaq and Michael Jordan, but since they asked him,
he was a phenomenal point guard, though.
Yes.
He could distribute the ball like no one else.
If you're giving me Michael Jordan, Shaq, and Allen Iverson in their prime, that's tough to beat.
That's devastating. I don't know, bro. I mean, it's possible.
I think that team could beat Chicago's record
probably
of wins in a season. Because there's just games where you just don't show up or something crazy happens. Right. Like, I could see maybe losing less than 10 games in a season.
Oh yeah, I can see that easily.
But I can't see
undefeated. Undefeated in the NBA is difficult. Like, that's not going to happen.
Well, wasn't Chicago they won 70 some games?
Oh yeah, they got close.
Yeah.
But
that's got to be irritating though, to win 70 plus games in a season and be like, we played 82, we won 70 plus. Why can't we win 82?
Right.
But if you have a good supporting cast that could pick up the slack, like if MJ had a night off or Shaq fouled out earlier.
And that's the thing. If you look at the Michael Jordan teams, he never had a dominant center.
No.
He always had decent centers. So if you had, let's say you had Jordan and you had Pippen, and then you put someone like Shaquille on a team.
It's not even fair.
That team might go undefeated.
It's not even fair.
No, it wouldn't have been fair. And the thing about the NBA back then, as opposed to the NBA now, is that if you look at Houston in this last series, especially the last game, Harden was horrible. He had 14 turnovers by himself.
Well, that's because Lil B was there.
Right.
Lil B, the base god.
Right.
He put and he's got to put he says if LeBron doesn't give him credit for the dance, he's gonna put a curse on LeBron.
We'll see what happens. But Harden,
hey, you know what? It may just be BS. It may just be him getting good publicity. But
probably
he is right. Like he said, I put a curse on James Harden. He was at the game, and James Harden had the worst game of the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. He did. So it really looked like he just didn't show up. And you didn't see that back then.
By the way, just to mention not showing up. Thanks Atlanta for just absolutely not showing up at all in the Eastern Conference Finals.
I gotta be honest with you, dude.
That was Atlanta was one of those like. It's like with Oscars, like you're not gonna win,
right?
And you're just like you just show up just to show up and take the back seat. And you're like, I'm just happy to be here.
But the last game of that series, Atlanta looked like they didn't know what they were doing.
That was disgusting. That game was gross. I
gotta be honest with you. I almost felt like the fix was in on that last game, just because Atlanta was.
Well, what was the over under?
They were just not even playing basketball. Like, I don't know what Atlanta was doing.
I mean, I think Cleveland's good. I don't think Cleveland's that good.
And I gotta be honest with you. The last game of the Golden State series, even though Harden was having such a bad game, I honestly thought the refs were trying to give the game to Houston.
By the way, what do you think of the Rockets beating the crap out of the Warriors? Like you've got the one where
you mean like physically?
Like physically beating it.
Like when Dwight
if you can't beat them, beat the crap out of them. Yeah.
Like when Dwight threw that roundhouse behind him, hit the dude in the face.
Yep.
Like Dwight
I think it was Dwight took out Andre Iguodala.
Yes.
Someone else took out Klay Thompson.
Right.
Then a game before that, Steph Curry was taken out. He was undercut.
Well, no, he wasn't undercut. That was actually a legit play.
Yeah, I know, but
like he went up to block the shot. The dude pump fake. Curry went over him. I'm glad that it wasn't worse than it was.
It's okay, because that would be a poor way for the playoffs.
But if you watch Dwight Howard in this series, there were several times when Dwight should have been kicked out of the game.
He was chicken winging a lot.
Yeah,
where he just throwing his elbows up and just kind of just like flopping around.
Oh yeah, and he was hitting people hard and pulling people down.
You can tell like when they say. When they all talked about how soft Dwight Howard was,
he was trying to show he's not soft.
Well, he shows he's soft by doing stupid
stuff like that. Like he's soft.
Like you can be a tough player,
right,
and not throw elbows into people's faces. But if you're trying to show like, hey, look, I'm badass. I can control this game. I have no problem taking a tech because I want to show you that I'm tough. You're not tough, Dwight.
No, you're not. Now I'll give Dwight props. In the game that they won in Houston, there was severe weather outside, and so they didn't let the fans leave for like an hour and a half. And he went and he hung out with the fans.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Like that's pretty cool because he was the only player to do that. But at the same,
he was one of the only players that was still stuck there.
It's possible, but if you, because no one could leave. But if you look at his play, it was just sloppy and ridiculous the way I
don't know if Houston will ever win a championship with those two. I mean, maybe if they get a stronger supporting cast.
Right. I feel like if Harden had not left OKC, they would have won a championship already.
Oh, absolutely. But Harden just can't. It doesn't seem like Harden can be.
He can't carry a team.
He can't be a complementary player. He has to be the guy.
Yeah, and he can't do it. He needs to find out how to be a complementary player because he's an awesome player.
Yeah,
he's an awesome talent.
He's not like LeBron.
No.
I mean, there are some games where Harden, like when Harden had, I think it was like 44 points, and the game that they won, that 45. Was amazing. See, it was amazing, but he won't do that every night.
No, absolutely not.
Because he'll come back and have 14 turnovers the next game, and
you're
done. Moving over to the National Hockey League now, the St. Louis Blues re-signed head coach Ken Hitchcock to a one-year deal. The San Jose Sharks hire ex-Devils coach Peter DeBoer to be their head coach. Ottawa GM Brian Murray continues on his contract path. Says he does plan on stepping down after next season. He'll be an advisor for 2 years after that before likely retiring.
Yep.
It is still expected that 2016 first overall pick, I should rephrase that. It's still expected that the to-be number 1 first overall pick, I don't know why, I probably should reword that. It's just, that's bad wording.
Just go with what you're saying, man.
Austin Matthews, the expected first overall pick in the 2016 NHL draft, likely to go over and play overseas.
Okay.
That's been the continuing trend. That's the thought. He'll go over play a season overseas because the thing is there's a lot of speculation and talk that he doesn't feel challenged playing college level players because he's done it before. Right. I think and he's dominated them. And he's like, if I want to be challenged, I'll go over and I'll go play against men in Europe, get paid, and then come back to the NHL. So we'll see how that one works out. But it'll be interesting to see. It'll open quite the door if he does that. St. Louis Blues forward Vladimir Sobotka, I think is how you pronounce it, will remain in the KHL for at least another season. He informed the Blues this week that he will not be coming back. There's reports out of New Jersey that Nashville assistant coach Phil Housley, ex-Buffalo Sabre, likely to become the new Devils head coach. Very, very interesting because he's one of the best assistants in the league.
Right.
Also, Buffalo Sabres have a new head coach. Dan Bilesma, ex-Pittsburgh Penguins head coach, becomes the 17th head coach in franchise history. A 5-year deal for Bilesma, and the Sabres send a third-round pick to Pittsburgh for compensation, which I think is bogus. I think the compensation thing is bogus. Here's the deal. Long story short. If the Devils hire Phil Housley, compensation, because Phil Housley is under contract, still a coach. This is how the Penguins did it. When they fired Dan Bilesma, they did not say, we have fired Dan Bilesma. They have said, we have relieved Dan Bilesma of his duties. He is still under contract, so he's an at-large employee for us, but he is not our head coach anymore. So when the Buffalo Sabres went to go hire him, they were like, Pittsburgh's like, give me that compensation. And the Sabres were kind of like, the hell are you talking about? You fired him. And no, we relieved him of his duties. He's still an at-large employee, and they slimed their way into a third-round pick. That's probably going to change very shortly. If you're hiring an assistant coach or someone from a franchise that has a job title, whether it is head coach, like when Toronto hired Mike Babcock from the Red Wings, that's proper for compensation. Hiring a guy that's been fired by an organization that's just trying to squeeze you for a pick, that shouldn't happen.
Oh, well. That's a good pickup for the Sabres, though. He's a good coach.
I thought you were going to say something more than that.
No.
Yeah, he's a very good coach. You're a Penguins fan, so you should know.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do in the offseason. There's a lot going on. I talked about it over at SabresHockeyCentral.com. I wrote an article last week about it and about Bilesma and potentially Luke Richardson. But now we get to find out who they're going to hire in Rochester. And the draft combine is next week in Buffalo, which will be fun to hear all about that. And then the draft is in a few weeks in Sunrise. The Florida Panthers, or I think the BB&T Center is the Florida Panthers arena. So there's a lot more hockey stuff coming from that side of things. But moving over to the playoffs now. First off, I am very happy with the Bilesma. Very happy with the Bilesma hiring.
Good.
By the way. Playoffs. Tampa Bay Lightning, Friday night, defeat the New York Rangers. Advance to their first Stanley Cup since 2004. Tampa wins 2-0. Game 7 at Madison Square Garden.
And they snapped the Rangers' 7-0 streak in Game 7.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
I think Henrik Lundqvist has won 6 straight Game 7s at that
There was
point.
a lot of Ranger hate after that game, man.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
tell you what, the Rangers went to the Cup final last year, and they've played a lot of hockey the past couple of years.
Right.
It's impressive they've got this far.
Yeah, I agree.
Tampa Bay Lightning goaltender Ben Bishop making his first career playoff appearance in this postseason, I should say. So first career postseason appearance. Becomes the third goaltender all time with 2 Game 7 shutouts in one postseason. Talk about nails. That's good right there.
Yeah.
Anaheim and Chicago Saturday night on the 30th will play Game 7 in Anaheim. It's the third time in National Hockey League history, first since 2000, that both conference finals take games 7 to decide a winner.
Yes.
That's something new I learned. It's not Game 7s, it's Games 7.
Okay. Awesome.
English language, it's weird. So we get the greatest thing in hockey, Game 7, hockey fans get 2.
Nothing wrong with that.
In 2 days.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's damn good.
They've both been great series.
Absolutely. With that being said, this is the news you need to know.
Now you know it, peoples.
When we get back, hello.
Yes.
And a story.
Yes.
Here, exclusively. Better Live Than Dead podcast on the Gear
Radio Network.
While you're listening to this podcast, make sure you follow us on social media. You can follow me at WolfSHC on Twitter. You can also follow Mr. Perez at MRLG Perez. Make sure to like the podcast on Facebook. That's facebook.com/BLTD Podcast. And make sure to follow Gear Network on Twitter at GERE Network.
This free and independent sportscast is made possible when you shop the Gear Network store through Amazon.
Visit GearNetwork.com and click on the Amazon banner to shop through Amazon's thousands of products at great prices delivered right to your front door. Again, that's GearNetwork.com and click the Amazon banner at the top.
You're listening to Better Live Than Dead on the Gear Radio Network.
We are back, people.
Welcome back.
Better Live Than Dead.
Episode 4 or 5.
Time to say hello, Perez.
Yes. So this week, Ryan, I was trying to figure out who the recipient of this week's hello was going to be. And I was watching a movie the other day called Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd.
That's a good movie.
When it struck me just who I was going to say hello to, and that would be Jamie Lee Curtis.
It's a good pick.
Who's been in a lot of fun movies and a lot of different, characters, and it was the uncensored version of Trading Places where there are several moments in time where Jamie Lee Curtis bares her chest. And I gotta be honest with you, man. Jamie Lee Curtis may have the best breasts of all time. So, this week's recipient of my hello is Jamie Lee Curtis.
Now, a question I have for you. She was in Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan.
She was.
What are your thoughts on Lindsay Lohan?
As far as would I hit it?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's just something about her with me. I don't know.
It's because she's dirty, bro. It's because she's dirty.
I don't know.
Yeah, dude, trust me. It's because she's dirty. She's a good-looking girl, but she's got this, dirty edge to her. It's kind of sexy,
yeah.
So, you want to hit it, but you don't because you don't know where she's been at the same time.
Well, plus she seems like she's kind of a loose cannon.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Not even in terms of just, she'll go do what she wants, but,
Right. She'd be fun.
Her head might literally explode.
Right. She'd be fun to hang out with until the wheels go off the tracks, and then you're like, oh, my God.
I got this thing I got to do with this place.
Right. But she'd be fun. But at 56, Jamie Lee Curtis still looks good.
I just had to ask you that.
No,
you said Jamie Lee Curtis. I thought of Freaky Friday.
Right.
I thought of Lindsay Lohan. I was like, I got to ask.
Have you seen Machete?
No.
Go look at Machete and then tell me what you think of Lindsay Lohan. I kind of liked her better after Machete.
Okay.
So
I'll check it out.
Yeah. But, if you look at Jamie Lee Curtis, obviously she bared her breasts in Trading Places. She's done it in a couple other movies. She was in that one movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger where he was like a spook, and he sets up this thing where he's trying to catch her cheating. And she says that she's not cheating, so he sets up this rendezvous, makes her work for the CIA, quote unquote, and she does this dance scene in her bra and panties, and at one point she's riding the pole on the bed like she was a stripper, and it was all Jamie Lee Curtis. She did the whole act. There was no body double or anything like that. Hi Jamie Lee Curtis, you're fine.
Well, with that being said, I guess it's time to transition over to the story time.
Hit my bumper.
Gather round, kids. It's story time with Mr. Perez.
All right, so for this week, I'm actually going to tell you a couple quick stories real quick, because I had a story I was going to tell you, but then I was at John and Dawn's last night for a little bonfire, some cigars, and me, John, Dawn, and my wife were sitting around the campfire, and I was relaying a story to John, and at the end of it, John started laughing really hard. It was like, that should be your story time story. So I'll share that one also. Actually, he said that for a couple of stories, but I'll give you just a couple quick ones.
I like sitting around a fire with you with some beers and a cigar. It's just
it's a good time.
You probably should have to pay for admission.
Probably. It's a good time had by all. But so yesterday I'm working, and I stayed in Rochester because I had to meet my wife's aunt for lunch. She asked to meet so she could ask me to officiate her wedding, which I'm going to. But so I go to Pittsford Plaza to visit my stores at Pittsford Plaza, and I had my sunroof open, and I park in front of my Verizon store that I'm visiting, and a dragonfly flies into my car through the sunroof. So I'm like, well, crap, I'm not going to leave this dragonfly in my car. I'm just going to have to sit here until it flies out of my car. So I open all my windows. So the stupid dragonfly is buzzing around my windshield and not going sideways, coming towards the windows. And it lands on my inspection sticker. So I take a picture of this dragonfly so I can send it to my wife. Like, crap, dragonfly flew into my car. Well, in the general area, your dad's here, in the general area of where the angle of the dragonfly was, there was two people 2 rows over who were standing there talking, a guy and a girl. So the guy, I take a picture of the dragonfly, and he must have saw the flash on the phone, because he says to the girl, that dude just took a picture of us. So they both start looking over at me kind of funny. But I'm not paying any attention because I just want this dragonfly out of my car.
Yeah.
So it finally lands near the window. And I'm like, the window's open right there. Fly out of my car, dragonfly. So I take a napkin and I bat the dragonfly, and it flies out the window. Cool. Problem solved. No big deal. So I look back over at the 2 people that are staying there. Why is the guy taking my picture with his cell phone? So he takes a picture of me, and then he alters it slightly, and he takes a picture of my license plate. So I was like, okay, interesting. That's what I realized, they think I really did take a picture of them. Which, guy and a girl staying in a parking lot, all of a sudden really concerned that someone's taking their picture is kind of interesting to begin with.
Yeah.
But so I get out of my car, I grab my cell phone, I walk over to him, and the guy sees me coming towards him, so he whispers something to the girl, and they both stop talking, and they both look over at me. So I walk over, I'm like, hey, how you doing, guys? Listen, I understand that you might have thought I took a picture of you two. And I was like, but I just wanted to come over and show you. I didn't take a picture of y'all. There was a dragonfly in my car. I took a picture of it, sent it to my wife, dragonfly in my car, yay. And so the girl starts laughing, and she was like, I told him, I told him that I thought maybe something had flown into your car, and he thought you were just taking a picture of us. And I was like, I didn't take a picture of you. He was like, yeah, that's what I thought. You better not take a picture of us. And I was like, dude, first of all, I said, don't try to act tough in front of her. Because you're not. You're not. I was like, and I came over here as a courtesy to let you know I didn't take your picture. And also, as a courtesy, I want you to delete the pictures you took of me. And so he was like, oh, you saw that? I was like, well, you made it pretty obvious. You were pointing the phone right at me. And then you kind of switched it up and took a picture of my license plate. Which, what are you going to do with that, by the way? I was like, so as a courtesy, I would like you to delete those pictures. And so he was like, yeah, man, thought you were taking pictures of us. And I was like, come on, dude. I don't know why you thought I was taking pictures of you, but let's say I was a private eye. That's the worst private eye ever. I pull into a spot 2 aisles away from you where you can clearly see me, and the flash out of my cell phone, and I snap a picture. That doesn't even make sense. Especially since I can have a real camera parked across the street and get very clear pictures of you. I was like,
How dumb did you make that guy feel?
I was like, it doesn't even make any sense, buddy. I was like, or she's wearing yoga pants, so I don't know if you thought I was trying to get a picture of her behind. I was like, but I'm 2 aisles away. They're black yoga pants. Not a whole lot of definition right there. So it's not like I can post that online. Like look at this shadow. Whatever. I was like, so can you delete those pictures? And at that point, he kind of lightened up and he laughed. He was like, yeah, man. So he pulled his cell phone out and he deleted the pictures. I got back in my car. because my car was still running. I had to turn it off so I could go to the Verizon store. But then, as I was sitting in my car, I was thinking to myself, yo, they're acting kind of shady. Like, I wonder if that's like his side piece.
Maybe.
And I wonder if, he thought he got busted. Or maybe he's her side piece.
That's a good point. You may have just done some private investigation right there.
Without even, tried to.
Someone may hear a podcast and go, you know what?
Right. But
I knew it.
Yeah, but it was funny because he was acting real shady. So I'm guessing that was his side piece.
It's got to be.
And it was quite humorous. My man was not happy. And then he tried to act all Mr. Tough Guy, and I was like, no, you're not. Don't try to act tough because she's standing here.
I mean, I don't know what that guy looked like, but if you walked up to me in public and were like, look it, I would just be like, yep, whatever you want, you got it.
He looked like a white dude in Pittsburgh. Like,
Oh, God.
Yeah, so
he must have been like, was he like wiry?
Yeah, he was tall. He was normally built. Nothing spectacular,
Okay, yeah.
Nothing to be intimidated by. So
you could have ruined his day if he had to.
Easily.
Okay.
But, it was kind of funny. But I was like, whatever.
Yeah, stupid people are stupid, especially white people. They're so dumb.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you, white people.
Coming from a white person, white people are dumb.
It's funny. But so then last night, I'm at John's house. And as many of you know out there in podcast land, I'm a huge cigar guy. I have a very large collection of cigars. I have an extensive library of different cigars. I have several boxes of cigars that I'm holding on to because they're very rare. They're not ever coming back. They were one-offs. Like, okay, so for instance, I have CAO Rabid Reindeer. I believe I gave you a Rabid Reindeer, Ryan.
It was very good.
They were a cigar that was a different take on one of their already made blends. They released it one time. They made 2,500 boxes, which in the cigar world is not a lot of boxes, not a lot of cigars. I bought like 2 boxes of them, and I've smoked pretty much one box, split a box with some friends, and now I have a full box that is just sitting in my locker, aging because they're never coming back. They were a one-time blend. I have a box of Rabid Reindeers, same thing. One-time blend, never coming back. So I'm holding on to these cigars. The cigar shop I work at part-time, Santiago Cigar Factory, I have a bunch of their older stuff that now they make different blends for, but I have the original blends. I'm not smoking those. I have several that are 3-4 years old. I have a cigar in my locker that's at this point probably close to 12 years old.
Wow.
I can't find them. They stopped making them a long time ago. I know someone who has like 30 of these cigars, and he won't sell me 5 of them. I'm kind of upset about that. Just sell me 5. You'll still have 25. But so my wife, my lovely wife, who I love and adore, she kind of makes fun of me because I have all these humidors that are full. I have a locker that is full. And she's like, don't you buy cigars to smoke? And I'm like, well, yeah, I buy cigars to smoke. And she was like, well, how come you're not smoking them then? And I'm like, well, I have my smoking cigars, and then I have my cigars that I'm aging and holding on to. So one of the cigars is a new blend that CAO released last year called the CAO Amazon Basin, okay? Now, the Amazon Basin is the primary filler, is a cigar grown in the actual Amazon Basin. But here's the thing. It's grown in an area that's so remote that when they harvest the tobacco, okay, they have to put the tobacco on those little like wooden boats that you see the natives using when you see like documentaries on the Amazon, okay? So they put them on these particular little boats, which the natives then row down to the main river, which they then put on a bigger boat, which then goes to a port of call, and then they have to helicopter the tobacco out of the Amazon. So it's a very difficult process to get this tobacco. And it's in the Amazon, it's in an area along a mountain that only gets enough sunlight once every 3 years to actually grow this tobacco. So the process of getting this tobacco is very difficult. It's a very time-consuming process. So when they released the Amazon basins last year, they were very cavalier. Like, we don't know if this is going to be a one-time release or if we're actually going to harvest it every 3 years. They decided that they were going to harvest it every 3 years. So you'll see the Amazon basins once every 3 years. Well, what CAO did this time was they actually had enough tobacco to make 5,000 boxes, okay? And they released 2,500 to the public.
Okay.
So I purchased a box and a half of them.
Not a bad idea.
No. So I still have a box in my locker, and my wife is always making fun of me, like, you buy these cigars to smoke. And I'm like, yes, that's true, baby, but they're not coming back. And the Amazon bases won't be back for a very long time. So in my mind, well, yes, I purchased these cigars to smoke, I also purchased these cigars to hold on to. So
now, question. Sorry, keep going.
Go ahead. Question. Okay.
It's just a cigar question.
So CAO, General Cigars, who owns CAO, recently decided to release the other 2,500 boxes that they held on to. And so they had a promotion where it was like they were allowing cigar shops to purchase 7 boxes of CAO. And if you purchase the 7 boxes, that would open the ability to then also purchase a box of Amazon basins. And the cigar shops were kind of like, wait, so let me get this right. So you want me to buy 7 boxes to sell, and then that will give me the privilege, you're saying, of buying another box. Instead of like, buy 7, we'll throw something to you. We'll give you something free. So I guess it didn't go well. So General just decided to open it up.
Yeah.
So, companies were able to order the last of the CAO Amazon bases that General held on to for a year, which was smart because you want to have that in reserve. It's a big hit. Release some a year later. It's aged an extra year. So the complexity will be a little different. The strength might be a little different. So I was at the Tinderbox, and the General rep was there. And so they were like, yeah, we got 7 boxes coming in. So I was like, word? Like, when are they coming in? And they're like 2-3 weeks. So I was like, okay, 2 or 3 weeks. So what are the chances that I could get a box sooner? And the General rep was like, well, let me make a phone call. So I was like, bet. So he comes back and he's like, I'll get you a box next week. So I was like, cha-ching, getting a box next week. So last night, I'm at Santiago Cigar Factory, and I'm trying to decide what cigar I would like to take to the bonfire for me and John to enjoy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, do I want to grab something from Santiago's? Do I want to grab a San Andres? Do I want to grab the new Brazilian blend, which is an awesome cigar? Do I want to grab this? Do I want to grab that? And then it hit me. Wait, hold on a second. Do I want to take an Amazon basin? And in the back of my mind, I'm like, but these are rare. Once every 3 years. But then I hear my wife's voice in my head. Sweetie, you buy these cigars to smoke, not just to hold on to. So then in my mind, I'm like, yes, but they only are going to come out once every 3 years. And then I hear my wife's voice in my head. You're getting a box next week. And at that particular moment in time, I agreed with my wife's voice in my head. Was like, you're right, I am getting a box next week. That's freaking awesome. So I took some Amazon bases to smoke last night. And I opened my box. And, I think I've smoked maybe 2 or 3 out of this box. So I still have 15 in the box. Now I have 13 because I took 2. But I was like, yeah, these cigars are so beautiful. I should just let them sit. Like, I had opened the box and grabbed 2. I was like, nah, I should put them back. And then I heard my wife's voice again, like,
just do it. Just do it.
Yeah. You buy him to smoke. You buy him to smoke. So, me and John enjoyed a couple Amazon bases last night. They're an awesome cigar. I'm looking forward to getting my other box.
What's the price of that box?
I can't tell you because your price.
What would be my price?
Okay, that's a better question.
Okay, what would be my price?
Your price would probably be about $150.
It's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
What, $10 a stick? Then?
Yeah.
It's not bad at all.
So actually, no. I think there's 18. I think there was 18 or 16 in a box. So you'd get about 16 for $150. But because they're so rare, some of the shops are marking them up. You know what I'm saying? So
that's thoughtful.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
I assume you're getting. I'm assuming you're getting a I Know People discount.
There's a very real possibility that I may not be paying full price for the box.
Allegedly. Okay. Allegedly.
Yeah,
we'll
exactly.
stick with that.
Cool.
The one question I have for you is, first off, how long can you age a cigar before you have to smoke it?
Well, like I said, dude, I got a cigar in my box right now that's probably about 12 years old.
Okay.
As long as you maintain in proper humidity levels and proper conditions, you can age a cigar for as long as you want. When I was 19, I had a stand-up humidor at my apartment that I lived in, and I purchased a cigar that was a Cuban cigar that was, at the time, 89 years old, and it was in mint condition.
So I guess that might answer my next question then. What is the oldest cigar you've ever smoked?
The oldest cigar I've ever smoked was 25 years old.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to smoke that 89-year-old one, and that's a completely different story for another time.
Oh, God. Is it a sad story?
It's sad for the cigar and for the individual that I had a conversation with after the whole thing happened.
A fisticuff conversation?
It's a very real possibility.
A conversation where your fist meets their face and
yes,
had a little powwow?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll have to do this again sometime and we'll talk more about cigars. Maybe we'll talk more about cigars in your podcast.
Yes, well, soon.
I look forward to that. Maybe I'll just come in every so often and be like a mediator, and just while you guys smoke cigars, I'll just ask random questions.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
We could do Larry King, you know?
Right, we could do it. I mean, honestly, at this point, I got some money for your brother tonight, so I'll get my logos, hopefully. We'll get the Facebook page up and running, the Twitter up and running. Right, I got to get someone to work on the website with me. But at this point, like with the mics that we have here, we could literally start it at any point. It would just be a matter of finding the time to sit down.
Exactly.
And obviously get the logos.
Yeah, well,
but I'm ready, dude. I'm looking forward to it. I'm good to go.
That was kind of that last segment, the last Storytime segment right there was kind of a sneak peek of the Beyond. We could say it's a sneak peek, and we're gonna, you know what,
of the Smoke Productions Beyond the Smoke,
breaking the fourth wall right now.
That's right.
I'll make sure when I write this up, if I remember, I'll make sure to put in the email saying that we get a bit of a sneak preview of the Beyond the Smoke podcast
by the Smoke Productions. And here's the thing. I've been talking to a couple other guys who's part of the Distinguished Ruffians with me.
Yeah.
And they would like to start a cigar podcast too. Mm-hmm. So I might, I'd like to talk to them and maybe we could bring them over.
That'd be cool.
And have them on Gear Network.
That's and yes, Perez. The Smoke Productions. I did notice you mentioned at the end when I said just Beyond the Smoke. It's Beyond the Smoke, brought to you by the Smoke Productions.
Yes.
Exclusively on the Gear Radio Network. That sounds about right?
Except for the exclusively on the Gear Radio Network part.
I'm saying exclusive because I'm used to saying that.
Because it's going to be on my website stuff too. But yes. It's all Gear. Gear will be distributing it. I will have a website and Facebook page.
You'd say yes.
Right. Just yes.
So let's try this again. Beyond the Smoke, brought to you by the Smoke Productions.
Yes.
On the Gear Radio Network.
That's right.
There we go.
And on thesmokeproductions.com.
Correct.
And on the Facebook page, the Smoke Productions or Beyond the Smoke,
whatever the Facebook link is. We haven't worked on the page yet.
No,
the page is up.
It is.
We have the page. We have the name and all the rights and stuff.
Yeah.
Just have nothing on the page.
Right. And here's the thing. I got an email a couple of weeks ago from someone asking me to stop using the Smoke, Beyond the Smoke.
Really?
Yeah, because they had a podcast that they were doing that they wanted to do called Beyond the Smoke, and I was like, listen, here's the deal. If you go back and you look at my YouTube page, and if you go to Beyond the Smoke, YouTube, you're going to find a podcast that's like 4 years old at this point, which is a video podcast that me and one of the owners at the cigar shop were doing. We were doing a live video podcast. I was like, so I've been using Beyond the Smoke for at least 5 or 6 years now. So if anyone needs to cease and desist, that would be you.
I hope we didn't. We were not echoing because I thought I did that.
It's all good. We'll find out.
Oh, we're good. If it's only been a minute,
right?
But
so coming soon.
Coming soon.
Very soon.
Hopefully.
Yes.
I'm getting excited for it.
Me too.
That being said,
hi Jamie Lee Curtis.
Going to shoot at the commercial break. When we come back, talking baseball.
We're talking baseball.
Did my white guy dance right there?
You did.
We're going to talk to Major League Baseball. We're going to take a look around the league, have an update on the gear guy. Stick around. More Better Live Than Dead podcast next.
Hey, Don, how's it going?
Living the dream. I'm actually just getting ready to do this commercial.
Oh, you mean the commercial where I tell our listeners to tune into Gear Network every week to listen to our show, Get Ready America? That one?
Yeah, John, that's the one.
They can also listen to us talk about news, sports, whatever's on our minds, that...
And a little what's on our listeners' minds, but they're just too nice to say it.
Well, that, Don, is a real humdinger.
Humdinger.
Come join us this and every week for Get Ready America exclusively on the Gear Radio Network.
And the Gear Network app.
A successful product does not become a successful product on its own. Look at the Gear Radio Network, for example. We're a prime example. We had a lot of help getting here, and we can help you get where you want to go to. Advertising rates are very low to start off here on the Gear Radio Network. Visit us at gearnetwork.com. Click on the contact link to send us an email, and we can work out the details. Again, advertise your product across all of the forums at a low, low rate here on the Gear Radio Network.
Live from the Wolf Den Studios, you are listening to Better Live Than Dead.
Back here on the Better Live Than Dead podcast.
Episode 45.
Talking baseball.
I'd like to say hello to Jamie Lee Curtis.
Hi.
And before you talk about baseball real quick, I was just rubbing my fingers through my hair. Which
Don't even talk about that. That's the end. You're going to ruin the plug at the end of the free plug party at the end of the show.
Never mind.
See, it's at the wrap-up part of the show.
All right, cool.
I wrote a script for the podcast.
All right. I'll wait then.
That's a teaser in the business.
That's right. Call it. But yes, people out there in listening land, I have hair again.
He has hair on his head, which is interesting. But I told him before the podcast he didn't look as intimidating now because he has hair on his head. But I'm sure you get him mad and he'll probably still beat the crap out of you.
Yeah, probably.
Starting off with the New York Mets, third baseman David Wright shut down indefinitely after being diagnosed with spinal stenosis.
That stinks.
Which is narrowing of the spinal column.
He's had a bunch of issues the last couple years.
He just can't
stay healthy.
And when he gets hurt, it's just always like a pile of injuries.
Right.
Funny I mentioned that because he's been working his way back from a right hamstring strain, which then led to his back hurting, his back tightness. They found he had spinal stenosis. They don't think it's degenerative, but if it is, it could end his career.
That's too bad.
Unfortunate for them, for sure.
Did I say that sincerely? I tried to say that sincerely.
It's the Mets, so it's kind of hard to be sincere. But
right. I tried to say that's too because I feel bad for the guy. That sucks.
That is so terrible. Dang it, gosh.
I wouldn't want it. Right.
Yeah, one of those things. Cincinnati catcher Devin Mesoraco placed in the disabled list only 7 weeks after injuring his hip. Apparently, they tried to get him to play through it, but he was batting less than 200, so that didn't work. There's a possibility he could have season-ending surgery coming up shortly. Soon, shortly, whatever word I'm trying to say, it'll probably happen. I'm assuming you caught the Yankee game last Monday? Kansas City pitcher Jeremy Guthrie literally had one of the worst pitching performances in the history of baseball.
Oh, so that when the Yankees won like 15-2?
1 inning pitched, 9 hits, 11 runs, all earned.
Yes.
3 walks, 1 strikeout, 4 home runs.
Right.
Allowed. He's the first pitcher in 100 years, according to Sportsnet, to allow 11 earned runs and 4 home runs in 1 inning pitched or fewer. He's the second pitcher since 1914, which is when kind of the stats start.
Right.
Second pitcher since 1914 to allow at least 11 earned runs in less than 2 innings pitched. That's not good.
No.
To say the least.
What was his ERA that inning?
Infinity, I think. No, I'm serious. I think that if like you just put that inning in a nutshell, I believe it would be infinity.
That sucks.
I wonder, that's actually a really good question. I'm going to get his page popped up because you can look at the last 5 or 10 games.
Right.
And you can see how far his ERA jumped in one game. I want to see that.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know because that was a horrible outing. And it's not something that you normally get from the Kansas City Royals.
You don't get it from Jeremy. I mean, Jeremy Guthrie's not a bad pitcher, but
No.
the Royals, I was about to say, you don't get it from the Royals because the Royals are a really good baseball team.
They are. But I think the Yankees swept the last series that they had after losing in Kansas City.
I honestly don't know because I'll be completely serious. I hate watch a lot of baseball these days.
I still enjoy baseball. I like watching
I
it.
hate watch most of the Red Sox games. Like, you have a girlfriend that you don't like her, but when you
I
sleep with her, you just
I wouldn't enjoy watching the Red Sox either.
Well, really? That's like me watching the Yankees. I'd rather have someone stick a nail in my pee hole than watch Yankees play baseball.
Well, if that's what you're into, have at it. I'm not into that, but if that's what you're into, hey, I ain't gonna stop you.
Okay, so I have the statistics right here. His ERA jumped from 4.75,
which is still not that great,
to 6.7.
That sucks.
In one inning of work.
That sucks.
I mean, his ERA for the season is 6.70.
Well, he probably hasn't recovered from that.
But, I mean, it was respectable beforehand.
Right. Still not great, but it was respectable.
I mean, he was pitching, 5.14, 5.54, 5.50, 5.87, 6.52, 5.70, 5.44, 4.75. So he was getting there. I mean, he only allowed 2 runs in the last 11 innings and then allowed 11 runs in 1 inning. So, I mean, I guess...
he had a little catching up to do.
Goodness.
That's almost as painful as having someone stick a nail in your pee hole.
I think it would actually probably be worse to give up 11 runs in an inning than get a nail in your pee hole. Which
apparently is something you're into.
No, I would rather... I don't like Michael Kay very much.
You don't like Michael Kay?
He's very monotonous. Like, just kind of like the same. And then he tells stupid stories and talks about, like...
Have you listened to Storytime with Perez every week, bro?
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. This is I don't care about what the Yankees did in 1973 on August 3rd in the 4th inning with the 5th pitch of the inning. I don't care. That's what they talk about.
1973 on August 3rd, I would have been a month and 2 weeks old. There's some history for you right there. Some fabulous history.
You're pretty old.
I'm almost 42, man. It is what it is.
I'm almost 24, man. I'm getting old over here, too.
Yeah, you a youngin'.
I've got many years of podcasting ahead of me.
I remember 24. 24 is about the age I started shaving my head.
You've come full circle.
I was 23, I believe.
I feel like I can take credit. Like there's a lot of things in life where, and this is going off topic here, but there's a lot of things in life where I can sit around and I'd be like, oh, I had a part in that. And when I see that you started growing your hair back, I'm like, I kind of had a part in that because I remember the one day you came with your hair and you're like, I don't think I'm going to shave my head anymore for a while.
Well, you know what the actual catalyst was?
What's that?
The final catalyst.
Well, I wasn't the one that decided. I just pushed you towards.
Well, the final catalyst was we had a family get together, and I've been shaving my head for practically half of my life.
Yeah.
And everyone in my family has full heads of hair. Like, none of my family's ever gone bald. And so one of my cousins looked at me and was like, you're the only member of the family who ever went bald. And I was like, I'm not bald. I just shaved my head. Gotta
be different.
I shaved my head to piss someone off because when I was in full-time ministry, I had very long hair.
Yeah.
Like, it came down to my belly button if you straightened it. Someone looked me dead in the eye and was like, people would take you more serious if you had a short haircut. So I was like, okay, bet. So I went the next day, sat down in the barber chair and said, shave my hair off. There's your short haircut for you. So I went back and was like, there you go, short haircut. And they were like, wow, that was drastic. And I was like, hey, you said people would take me more serious now.
But that seems like something you would do, though.
Yes, absolutely. It is absolutely something I would do.
Because if someone says don't do it, you do the exact opposite to the extreme just to prove a point.
So now I'm just, it got to the point where all of a sudden I'm tired of people being like, you're the only person in our family that's ever gone bald, or, I can't believe you went bald at such an early age. I'm not freaking bald, people, so here you go, growing my hair out, suck it.
Are you going to have like a long hair on the top?
I think I'm just going to let it grow, bro. I think I'm going to let the top go back to like my old Afro style.
I'm working on that right now, but I don't.
Yes, but my hair is stupid curly.
I do. So, I remember seeing the photos. I do recall.
So I think I'm just going to let it grow out.
If you come over like a Jerry curl, man,
I think I'm just going to let it grow out.
I would
a little S curl, a little crumple.
Pee myself.
Little,
Will you start wearing hammer pants?
No.
Will you wear hammer pants?
No, I'm not going to wear any freaking hammer pants.
I'll get a pair of you.
But I might have to buy some Soul Glow.
I have no idea what that is.
What? You don't know what Soul Glow is? Dude. Seriously?
Oh, God. There's been a divide.
You've never seen Coming to America?
I have, but I don't remember. I've not seen all of it at one point in time.
Okay, man. Do yourself a favor. In the next couple of weeks, sit down and watch Coming to America. Watch Trading Places.
I've seen Trading Places.
Well, watch Trading Places again.
Okay.
And then right afterwards, watch Coming to America because they're connected in a very funny way.
I've seen all of Coming to America at different times, but I can never recall actually watching it at one point in time.
Yes, watch them both back to back.
Okay.
It will enrich your life.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because there's people out there right now laughing their butts off at the Soul Glow reference.
I'm sure John is wetting his pants.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll leave little wet marks on your couch if I'm sitting on it. Your dad's laughing. He knows what's up.
I'm remembering the movie as I'm playing it back. I think I know what you're talking about now.
So
I think I'm picking up on it.
Yeah. Go get those movies and watch them. And if you get Coming to America, make sure you get it on DVD, uncensored, so you can see the person I'm saying hi to today, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Don't you mean Trading Places?
Yes, Trading Places. I'm sorry. Trading Places. You can see the uncensored version. You can see the person I'm saying hi to today, Jamie Lee Curtis, and you can see possibly the best breasts ever.
You probably could just Google it, though.
You could, but she literally probably has the greatest rack in history.
Oh, it looks miserable outside.
And my wife has beautiful titties. Don't get me wrong, but Jamie Lee Curtis is wow. So hello, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Hey, that's fair, man. Los Angeles Dodgers.
Come on, back to baseball.
Yeah, Los Angeles Dodgers and the Atlanta Braves tried to make a trade this week, and then Alberto Callaspo, the piece of the trade, said no, going to LA because he was the free agent in the offseason.
Right.
Excuse me. So he's allowed to veto trades until June 15th. Those are the rules. Well, according to MajorLeagueBaseball.com, he changed his mind after, quote, receiving unknown financial benefit. So
awesome.
Someone just said, here's some cash, shut the hell up.
So FIFA called him?
Have a Coke and smile and shut the F up. That was like a Richard Pryor thing there. I just kind of went blank there for a second, though. Atlanta acquires Chris.
You do that a lot sometimes.
Chris Withrow, Juan Uribe, and the Dodgers acquire Alberto Callaspo, Eric Stoltz, Ian Thomas, and Juan Jaime. I believe is how you pronounce it because no one has the last name Jamie, but it would be Jaime or Jaime. Yeah, whatever. Juan Jaime. New York Yankees third baseman Alex Rodriguez recorded his 1,995th RBI on Wednesday, passing Lou Gehrig and taking over first place for most RBIs ever in the American League. Thursday night, he tied Barry Bonds for second all-time at 1,996. Barring major catastrophe, he'll be the second player in Major League history with 2,000 RBIs in a career. Should we care at all?
I've said it before, dude. It's still impressive.
It's cool to see.
Sure, it's A-Rod. Sure, he's a pile of garbage. Sure, he took steroids. But like I've said before, steroids make you stronger. It does not help your hand-eye coordination. He still has to put the bat on the ball. I can't stand A-Rod because he is a pile of garbage. But it's still an impressive feat. So, as a baseball fan, I care because it is history. Even if it's history done by someone I really don't care about.
Let him and his little balls be excited about the records he's setting.
So, yeah. And really, with him, it really turned for me. Like, I didn't like to do it already, but when he was kissing himself in the mirror in that SI magazine,
the Centaur photo, the one that I got for John when John called me. Next time we're around, I'm gonna make John call me on a podcast so I can hear his reaction when he sees the photo of him as A-Rod Centaur coming up.
Yeah, so stupid.
You know what we should do? I should have Eric Photoshop a photo of John on the body.
That would be quite humorous.
So we have John Centaur, and we'll print out all the photos and post them around his house.
What's going on your phone, man?
My friend is texting me about what's going on in Buffalo.
What's going on in Buffalo?
Trying to figure out if I can get into Buffalo today.
Well, I don't know about downtown. Downtown's going to be tough. But you seem really preoccupied.
My phone keeps going off. I'm trying to ask questions about can I get into Buffalo today or not.
Can't wait 10 minutes, man.
St. Louis Cardinals first baseman Matt Adams likely lost for the season after a, quote, significant right quad tear. Now, they say 3 to 4 month recovery expected, but 3 to 4 months is towards the end of the season already. Whenever I think of a quad tear, I think of Triple H. I always see that. I always reimagine that rolling up of the quad, and freak me out, man. Can't do it. Washington outfielder Jason Worth out at least 2 months with 2 fractures in his left wrist. Speaking of wrestling, he looks like Edge. Jason Worth does.
You think so?
You ever seen the photos of them next to each other?
No. I can't say that I have.
I'll get the photo up right now.
He looks like Edge, huh?
Look a lot alike.
Does he pose for 5 seconds for those with the benefits of flash photography?
He should, because he looks like him.
That used to be my favorite bit that Edge and Christian used to do. Like, for those with the benefit of flash photography, we now give you 5-second pose. And it was funny because you see all the flashes going off. I was like, that's a good gimmick right there. I would do that, but no one really wants a picture of me, so, you know.
There's one of them.
Okay, yeah, I can see the resemblance. There's definitely a resemblance.
And then there's this one when he had less hair and less facial hair, but you can see the face looks a lot.
They do look a lot alike. They do look like they could be related.
And then this is him, I think.
Sure his last name's not actually Copeland and not Worth?
It might be. Like, look at, come on.
They do look like creepy. That's...
By the way, for those not on the podcast, my dad is hanging out with us right now.
Yes. They do look a lot alike.
Look a lot alike.
Kind of crazy.
That's what I do in my spare time. I just look at baseball players and I'm like, you look like this guy.
Right.
Montreal mayor goes to New York City to meet with Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred Jr. to discuss the possibility of baseball returning to Montreal.
They're going to bring back the Expos name?
Oh, if they bring baseball back to Montreal, it's going to be the Expos.
It better be the Expos.
It's going to be the Expos.
That'd be cool.
And you know what? I don't even care. Like, I hate the Tampa Bay Rays because they're D-bags, for lack of a better word. But
what'd they do to you, man?
They're the Tampa Rays. That's the problem. But if Tampa moves to Montreal, I don't care. I like that. I like that move.
That'd be quite a big move, going from a nice sunny area to someplace that's cold a lot.
Well, the problem is no one in Tampa cares about baseball.
That's a true story. It's the truth, and that's I'm sure Montreal would love to have the Expos back.
Oh, dude, they sold out the Olympic Stadium, or they sold out Olympic Stadium 2 nights in a row for exhibition games.
Right.
Like, come on. And they might actually play a regular season game there next year. And if that
if MLB wants to make a lot of money on a team, put a team in Puerto Rico.
They thought about that.
Like, the whole island would come out.
They put the Expos there for a while, remember?
Yeah, and those games all sold out.
Yep. I don't know if they would want to do that, though.
Spanish people love baseball.
Oh, yeah, but I don't know if they would ever do that because
it'd be easier for Cuban defectors to get there.
It's traveling. You're making good points here.
Cuba wouldn't have to go so far.
But then it would be like you know how Montreal, the Montreal Canadiens, you have to be like Canadian or Montreal. You have to speak French to be on the team. I'd almost feel like if there was a team in Puerto Rico, you would have to be like Puerto Rican or from Cuba or whatever to play for that team. Or not, they would just be like...
Have you seen Major League Baseball?
You're a bunch of white guys.
Have you seen Major League Baseball?
Yeah.
I really don't think that'll be an issue.
We're trending in that direction for sure.
Yeah, so, okay.
But if the Tampa Rays move to Puerto Rico, it's a bunch of white guys.
That's okay. White dudes love Puerto Rican women.
That's true.
Puerto Rican women love white dudes.
That's true. You're making great points right now.
Why do you think I married a white chick? She had better credit than me. She was able to get stuff. You know what I mean? It just made financial sense on my part.
You're a smart man.
Yes, I am.
On Friday night, we had Major League history happen. You want to hear
we
about it? San Diego Padres catcher Derek Norris became the first player in recorded history to strike out 4 times in a game, in a 9-inning game. Struck out 4 times. In his 5th at bat, he hits a walk-off grand slam.
Yes.
And that was a good follow on Twitter, at Cespedes Barbecue, BBQ. They figured it out. They said it's only happened twice in Major League history where a guy has struck out 4 times, hit a home run. Mike Schmidt did it in '83, recorded 4 Ks, got the golden sombrero.
Back when the Phillies were good.
Walked off with a jack in the bottom of the ninth. Bottom of the ninth, it would be, yeah. So, that's crazy to me. I'm going to start and stop these mics again, too.
Just in case.
Yeah, why not, Because I keep forgetting when where we're at.
We don't want to echo.
We don't want to echo.
Here on episode 45
Better
of
Live
Better
Than
Live
Dead
Than
Podcast.
Dead. I, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Speaking of the Gear Network.
What's up, South Africa?
The Gear Guy.
How'd he do this week?
Well, guess what? Wednesday was his birthday. Turned 21.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jose. Last Saturday, on the 23rd, recorded his 5th win of the season, 6 innings, pitched 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, 88 pitches, only 55 for strikes, so kind of got away from there, but the control was there enough because he only had 1 walk in 6 innings. Then Thursday night, even more impressive, he got the win again, 6-2 on the season now. 7 1/3 innings pitched, 9 hits, so he gave up a few more hits than he'd like to, but only 2 earned runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts. He's got 99 pitches, 66 for strikes. Not a bad ratio. 2/3 of his pitches were strikes.
Right.
His season stats are as follows: 6-2 on the season, a 2.84 ERA, 17 walks, 70 strikeouts, and 63 1/3 innings pitched. He's certainly showing like he could be ready for AAA very shortly.
Very cool.
At the ripe age of 21.
Nothing wrong with
that. Not bad at all. Now, it is the end of the month here on the Better Live Than Dead podcast, so we're going to take a monthly look around Major League Baseball. Starting off in the AL East, the New York Yankees skidding continues, but they are 25-24 in the season, but they still lead the East.
Which is crazy.
That division is going to be, if you win 82 games, you might win the division.
That's a true story.
Everyone's bad. The first person to get decently hot.
The Yankees are starting to look like I thought they were going to look.
Well, like I said a couple podcasts ago, and like you said too, if once the Yankees hit their first roadblock,
right? How
do they react?
Well, they did come back and sweep the Royals.
Well, they won 1 of 10,
right? And
now they're 3-7 in their last 10 games.
3 of them being against the Royals at home.
Kansas City, 29-18, and Minnesota 28-19, impressive in the AL Central. Houston, 30-19.
What did I say earlier this year? When you got mad at me? What did I say about
Houston's
the Astros?
Gonna win the World Series.
I did say Houston was going to win the World Series, didn't I?
It's holding up so far. 5-game lead in the AL West right now at the end of May. Washington, 28-20, holds a slim half-game lead over the New York Mets, who are 27-22 in the NL East. St. Louis at 32-16 has a large 6.5-game lead in the NL Central. San Francisco Giants win last night. They're 30-20. They're atop the NL West over the LA Dodgers, who are 28-19 by a half a game. Currently, Miami second baseman D. Gordon leads baseball with a .374 average. He has 74 hits already.
It's a good year.
So far, so good. Seattle outfielder Nelson Cruz.
Better check that dude for steroids.
Oh, he's a small guy.
I'm just playing.
He's a small dude. Seattle outfielder Nelson Cruz and Washington outfielder Bryce Harper tied for the league lead with 18 home runs apiece. Seattle pitcher Felix Hernandez setting the pace with the league leading 8 wins and 10 starts.
Dude, I like the way Bryce Harper plays baseball.
I'm a big fan of Bryce Harper.
He's intense. He goes at it. He's not afraid to yell at the umps. I love it. Keep doing what you're doing,
He rubs
Bryce.
a few people the wrong way, but not me. I'm a big fan of Bryce Harper.
I'm enjoying it.
I can't wait. He's going to look real nice in a Red Sox uniform in a couple years. Minnesota Twin pitcher Glenn Perkins is a perfect 18 for 18 in save opportunities, leading all of baseball.
Good for him.
And that has been our wrap-up of Major League Baseball for the month of May.
Awesome.
Going to shoot it to commercial break. When we come back, we'll wrap this bad boy up and send the show on the road.
That's right.
Stick around. More next.
Do you enjoy listening to Better Live Than Dead, but you're not always by your laptop to hear it on GearNetwork.com? Not to worry, we've got you covered. Better Live Than Dead and all other Gear Network podcasts can now be heard on iHeartRadio, iTunes, in the Zune Marketplace, on SoundCloud, Spreaker, Stitcher Radio, and on TuneIn Radio. So make sure you get one of the aforementioned apps to stay up to date with the latest Gear Network podcasts.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Perez here, telling you about FanDuel's one-day fantasy baseball leagues. Every day you pick the player you want, you can pick a whole team, and play for real money against other users. FanDuel has over 20,000 one-day leagues, so joining in is never an issue. Also, there's no daily commitment, so you play whenever you want. The best part? Over $2 million in prizes every single day. And if you sign up through GearNetwork.com/FanDuel, you help support the network and keep this podcast free.
You're listening to Better Live Than Dead on the Gear Radio Network. Now, here's Perez and Ryan.
Back closing this podcast up.
Hey, listen, your dad just made a very good point, okay? We were talking about A-Rod breaking Lou Gehrig's record, and your dad said he doesn't think it should count until he gets a disease named after him. You know, like, A-Rod's not going to die of A-Rod disease. So unless that happens, it shouldn't count.
I mean, A-Rod does kind of A-Rod disease. He's full of himself. You know?
Yeah, but, you know.
Maybe that's what we should call
Lou
it.
Gehrig had Lou Gehrig, so he didn't even know it. So...
Who made that joke? I think it was Dennis Leary made that joke.
I have no idea.
Something like
I just did. I just said it. So
yeah, I think Dennis Leary made a joke like that. I can't remember exactly.
Maybe Dennis Leary says some really effed up stuff, so it's really possible.
It sounds about right. It does sound about right. Yeah. I want to say first off, thanks to Dad for showing up to pick me up today. That's nice of him.
That is nice of him.
Thank you, Perez, for being here this week. I know you're drinking water.
Thank you, Ryan.
I'm glad you brought the donuts.
You know, every week, bro. Ridge Donut Cafe.
It's amazing donuts.
Great donuts.
I want to say thanks to John and Dawn for letting us have the podcast each and every single week.
Yeah, hi.
Thanks to everyone listening.
Thanks.
In the world.
Appreciate you guys listening.
You are so nice. You are so thoughtful. Thank you so much.
That's right.
Why are you talking like a white guy? You just kind of want robot white guy.
Every once in a while, I like to try to relate with you.
You like to white it up?
You know,
you like to Caucasian it up?
Right.
Okay, that's fair. As you may have seen this week on the Gear Radio Network, the House Party Podcast made its debut. Check it out over on GearNetwork.com. Also, Perez was adjusting his hair as I have been throughout the podcast. I want to mention, first off, Dapper's Not Dead Barber Social Club.
Yeah, man. Thanks for hooking me up yesterday. Appreciate that.
Chris Pogue is the man with the plan when it comes to haircutting.
Well, I just realized.
Okay.
I'm going to have to now start buying shampoo and conditioner. I haven't bought shampoo and conditioner in 20 freaking years.
You know what's really funny? I wash my hair like once a week.
That's disgusting.
No, it's not. Because you know who I talked to about it? I talked to our dude, Chris, at Dapper's Not Dead Barber Social Club, and he said to me, I was like, why am I having problems with my hair? Why is my hair like all crappy? And he goes, you're washing your hair too much.
Well, how much were you washing it?
Like every day.
Well, you can't wash it every day.
That's what I thought you're supposed to do.
No, not every day.
So I just wash it once a week, and it's actually it's working for me.
Let's say like once every 2-3 days.
I'm like once every 7 or 8 days. So
by the fifth day,
if I go outside and like I have a blowout and like play baseball or football or whatever, yeah, I'm gonna go wash my hair. But if I don't,
so by the 5th day, when a girl's rubbing their head through her fingers through their hair, she's like, "You got Soul Glow in? Like, what do you?"
My hair's pretty good.
You say so.
Whatever, man. I gotta get my hair cut this week though. I'm coming over on Friday to go see.
Right, exactly.
I'm going over Friday to see Chris. So I did want to mention though.
I might have to swing up there with you and buy some of his pomade.
That's fine. D&D BSC, that's what it's called, has come out with a medium hold pomade. Highly recommended by me. I used it last week. It smells like firewood. It's is amazing. That's the smell.
Smells like firewood?
Yeah, it's he made it to have a scent, and there's a scent to it.
It's firewood.
It's like I can't remember exactly.
So like you hanging around with a bunch of people, and they're like, "Yo, were you at a fire pit?"
Apparently,
like, what were you doing?
dude, it smells amazing.
No, that's just my head.
Did you not smell it earlier?
It didn't smell like firewood to me when I smelled it earlier.
Now you'll smell it, and you'll smell it.
Okay.
But $12 online before shipping can be purchased at dndbsc.com/store. And as mentioned, if you're looking for a great deal on a great cut, get a hold of Chris, the founder of Dapper's Not Dead Barber Social Club. The information available. His information, contact information is available at dndbsc.com.
Yeah, man. You hooked me up. I appreciate it.
And that's why I mentioned it. I mean,
I already set up my next
the
appointment.
hair looks good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was cool. It was funny walking in and seeing your brother.
You got to see if he can fix your I mean, it probably doesn't matter now, but if he can fix your straight blade, your straight razor.
Yeah, I was talking to him about that last night.
You did?
So yeah,
okay,
so hopefully he'll be able to do that.
Very well. Then you're 2 steps ahead of me.
Usually.
Excuse me. Jesus. we got to show off among us, everybody. But I guess that does it for the podcast today.
Hi, Jamie Lee Curtis.
I want to say thanks again to everybody for tuning in.
Yes.
I might be on a podcast next week with John and Dawn. I'm not sure because John never got back to me. I know you can't do it.
I can't do it. Like I can't do the all in. I guess it depends on what time we do it. But I have a wedding and then I have a reception afterwards, and then the next week we're doing the podcast. And we could probably do it all in on the 12th, but I'm.
You mean the 13th?
The 13th, yeah. But my plan is to spend that entire weekend pretty much with my wife because I leave on the 15th until the 19th. Mm-hmm. She leaves on the 18th, and she won't be back until I think the 30th.
Well, the 13th, we might have to work out something anyways because I think in the morning I'm going golfing. It's being paid for.
Okay.
So I can't complain. So maybe we'll just figure something out.
We'll have to figure something out.
We'll work on it.
And then on the
June's crazy for all of us.
20th, I get back in town and I have a bachelor party that day. But I should be able to do the podcast in the morning.
Okay.
And then on the 27th, I'm actually in the wedding. So you're probably going to have to find a co-host on the 27th.
We'll have a special co-host that week.
Yeah, my entire June is just shot.
We'll make a story time with, I don't know,
Eric.
A white people story time. Just talk about like the one time I went to the store and
right, bought some bread,
bought some eggs, some white milk, some white bread.
Well, what did you? Well, you're white. That's the type of stuff you like.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to drill in the fact that I'm white. Yeah.
You're like, why aren't you buying some wheat bread? I don't want anything tan.
I actually do buy wheat bread though.
I had some wheat bread the other day. It was disgusting. No, just that particular wheat bread. I tend to like wheat bread.
Wegmans wheat bread.
But whatever wheat bread my wife bought was not delicious.
I have every night at work. I have like wheat bread toast with peanut butter and granola and
every single night.
Yeah, that's how I stopped gaining so much weight.
Still sounds like you should switch up your routine. Maybe try something else.
I do on the weekends. I try pizza.
Okay.
I tell you what, it takes a lot to maintain this figure. Carrots and pizza. I love carrots.
Not even.
I'll tell you what, I love carrots, dude. I love carrots.
We'll leave that alone.
I love carrots. Thank you. I love carrots.
Carrots are good. A little ranch dip or something.
That's exactly what I do.
Right. I couldn't do it every night, but for a snack every once in a while.
I love carrots. I love carrots, granola bars, yogurt, applesauce. Applesauce is my jam.
Yeah, but there's not a whole lot that you could eat for some odd reason. You tell me stories, and it's like I had a blueberry, and I turned blue like the chicken Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I just don't like stuff, you know.
Floated away.
I just don't like stuff.
You're weird that way, bro.
But I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try more stuff. I'm working on it.
That's cool.
That's a goal of mine.
You expand your horizons.
I'm trying. Yeah, I ate a blueberry donut today.
Well, you've eaten that blueberry donut a couple times.
It's amazing.
It's a great donut.
It's an amazing donut. But with that being said, we are better live than dead.
You're not.
And if you try to be us,
you'll fail.
I'll just let Perez beat the crap out of you. Allegedly.
We'll have a conversation.
With that being said, we'll be back next week, same time, same place.
That's right.
Here, exclusively on the Gear Radio Network. Have a good one, my friend.
Later.
See ya.